Claude Code Desktop plus Opus 4.7. Guys, is it game over? Okay, so they have released Claude, well, they've updated Claude Desktop. Claude Code Desktop, in particular, has had a complete revamp and is an absolute pleasure to work with. So I want to dive in and show you what I'm seeing. And if you're somebody who has any sense of overwhelm from all of these tools, jumping between OpenAI's ChatGPT, Claude Code, not knowing what IDE to use, whether or not to be using these things inside of things like Windsurf or Visual Code Studio, I have been in the exact same spot. And to be honest with you, it is difficult to delineate the exact steps and processes we should be taking in order to implement these AI tools into our business. Where I have landed, as I am someone who does not like these cursor style editors, I find it a bit overwhelming. I don't find it a nice experience to be using those tools. I am 100% not in any way, shape or form an open claw guy. I tried it and I just couldn't get to grips with it. I hate Telegram, and then communicating and developing through that sort of system is just not something for me. So where I have landed now is I'm using Codex inside of the Codex web desktop app, and I've been using Claude inside of the Claude desktop app. Codex is fantastic in terms of usage. I can batter a session, and although it's not as generous as it was even just a couple of months ago, you really can absolutely hammer it. Claude, on the other hand, is a greedy little expletive. It absolutely throttles and hammers, but they've just released the latest model, Opus 4.7, and that coupled with the improvements to the desktop app, and in particular the code element of the desktop app, means that it is a real pleasure to work with. I do think that OpenAI will not be far behind with updates. They're already teasing a massive update to their desktop app, so it's just a matter of time. But for now, let me walk you through why I am enjoying the app so much. So this is the way that it looks now. You can see here that we have these options here to move between the main modules. So this is chat. This is what we all know and love, which you can access quite easily from the desktop. So from your desktop, from your browser. But we have that here if you just want to talk it through. And you can see here I'm at 90% usage of my current session limit. I mean, I could upgrade the plan, but for now, this is fine. And then we also have the cowork. Now, cowork I love. If you're working with files directly, then we can go into cowork. We still have access to the models here, and we can put extended thinking on, and we can work specifically inside of files. We can also use all of our connectors and that juicy good stuff, and it's really, really good at that. Then we have code, and this is really, really nice now, and I'm going to walk you through it. We also have routines, which I'll touch upon in a minute. Okay, so for code, down here we have plan mode, and we have accept edits, which is just, your normal working mode. Here we want to select where we are working from. So are we working locally or are we working from the cloud? Now, I actually hate working locally. I have a GitHub MCP connector, which connects to my GitHub. I tend to push everything to GitHub. And then if it is a web app or a working app that I'm using, I will just push that to Netlify. I think I have like a legacy Netlify account. So I've got so many projects in there that, and it's a free account. I'd be more than happy to pay, because it's just wonderful. So I'm working on a number of websites at the moment, and projects for our agency, our other agency. So a lot of it is just, it's hosted in the cloud, and I can just access it from my GitHub repo. You can obviously just work locally as well, in which case you just want to come here, open your new folder, bada boom, bada bing, and you're going to work out of that folder there. But I love working from the cloud. and I'll host any app as well. So I have this social generator that I built, and I just host this through Netlify. I paste the transcript of the podcast that we've recorded, and then I can do some more inputs on how I want the thumbnail to look, and then this will produce me thumbnail, all social media post content, title suggestions, and all of that. And I just host that directly through Netlify, and everything happens on the back end. So in here, we can change the models on the right hand side here, and we can also see our session usage and weekly usage as well. You can see I've got 6 days and I'm 20% through already. Then we also have the ability to pin important projects here. Our routines live underneath here. We'll go through that at some point. And then here we have our current project sessions. So to start a new session, we just come to new session here. We're going to decide where we're working from, select your project, and then you can open it up there. I will open one of my existing sessions, and I can have this here. Now, what's really nice is you can open and work on multiple. So if I do open this one here and split view, that is going to give me a split view. So this looks like those multiple instances where you see, working on 4 different projects at the same time. And I can do that here as well. And then this final project here, we can do 4 at a time. So you can see here now, this looks like we have that sort of split view, multiple coding sessions happening concurrently. This is great if you're on a higher plan. Obviously, this is going to absolutely rinse your usage if you're doing 4 projects simultaneously. But if you're upgrading the plan, maybe even if it's just for a month because you're working on some heavy usage stuff, then that it's a great option for you. Now we also have, as you can see up here, we have these different menu options as well. So here we can open up the diff. So this is obviously the difference in the code. We can also open up tasks. Obviously this becomes a bit cumbersome in a single view. If I close down these multiple code sessions so you can see what it looks like on a single view. And then we can also open the plan. So this is if we go into plan mode and we build a plan will appear here and we can look through it there. We can also sort of drag and drop these as well. We can make sections bigger. And if we take the different components, we can move them how we want them to move as well. So you can see we can swap them around up or down. So it looks absolutely stunning. It really is a pleasure to work with. You can get so much done. Don't forget that you have the customize section here, which is where we can build our skills. We can add our connectors here. Composio MCP I am loving at the moment as well. It really can connect to a lot of stuff. Finally, I will show you routines. So this is fantastic. We can build our routines in here and we can have those live in the cloud, which is something that we have wanted for a long time. The way that you want to do this, you can try and build it out in the actual code section first and then copy and paste instructions over here, but it's a bit cumbersome. What I would do is, first of all, add all of the connectors that you think that you would need, any of the MCPs or whatnot. Give your task a title and describe your task here on the model that you want. Then you're going to want to select your trigger, be it a scheduled trigger or an API call. Then set your task. Once it's set, you can come in here and you can run it. Once you run it, it will then open this run down here. You can click in here and it will open up the ability to then talk to it, iterate on it, and then resave it. So that's, I think, the best way to be working with routines, but they are so powerful. You can it is basically essentially a replacement for N8N and automation. This thing is a game changer. If you're not implementing this sort of things in your business, then and other businesses are, i.e. your competition, you're missing out. Drop a note in the comments if you enjoyed this video. Let me know how you are using the new Claude Desktop app combined with Opus 4.7. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.